What is it costing you to be a follower of Jesus Christ? Are we guilty of making Christianity a religion or convenience? Christianity shouldn't be a religion, but it should be a relationship. Do you have that relationship with God tonight? Have we replaced self-denial with self-service? There will be times when we will be faced with consequences of following God, or the risk of losing someone if we continue, of serving Him instead of serving ourselves. It won't be pleasant, but we must be faithful to Him who is faithful to us. If we're faithful to God, He will be faithful to us. You know, sometimes we may be given a choice to shut up speaking or to speak anyways. And the Bible talks about how we should come boldly to the throne of grace. The Bible speaks of Daniel, who although was at risk of his life, still done what he always did and prayed 3 times a day. Didn't do it in secret. He opened up the windows and he let the whole world see. And that's what we've got to do tonight. We've got to open up the windows and let the whole world look in and see our life. Because sometimes we're the only Bible that people reads. They may never pick up the Bible to read, but they can look at us and they can look at our lives. I'll never forget, my mom went to church for years, and when she quit going, there was no drunkard that lived beside of us. And he looked at my mom kind of sorrowful one day and said, "You just about had me and you quit." All my life I went to school, always confessing the Lord. People knew there was a difference about me. Was saved when I was in the 4th grade. Can't remember how old I was. Probably about 10 or 11 years old. But even through then, there was a difference about me. I grew up in church. I knew what to do, and I knew what was right. When I was 16, I quit going to church for 2 years. And somebody come up to me. Somebody didn't even know that was looking at me. Said, "You just about had me, and you quit. I looked at your life, and all through these years you was different. Why the sudden change of heart?" And, you know, just like my mom did, after the man told her that, went down with her head in shame, and so did I. It was a couple years before I ever got back into church, though, even after that. Because, you know, I was selfish, and I thought I was living my life for me for the first time in my life. And I thought the world could make me happy, but it didn't. I had my hair about down to my shoulders. Had my ear pierced. Didn't look a bit more Christian than the man in the moon. And I was working at McDonald's. I was about 18. And this young Pentecostal woman come up to me, faithful in church, about 3 or 4 years older than me. We ended up starting dating afterwards. But she said, "You're Pentecostal, ain't you?" And I said, "Well, if I go to church, I am. But I've not been in 2 years, and how would you ever know? Because I don't look nothing Pentecostal, Christian, anything." And she said, "Well, even once you ever know God, there's always a light about you as you go through your life. And although you leave God, God never truly leaves you." And I never really thought of it that way. I just assumed that at that present point in time, never cussed till I was 16 years old, but at that present point in time, if you made me mad, I'd soon cuss you out, look at you. And never hit, but I did have the mouth on me. And so then we started talking, and she said, well, I go to this church. I said, well, I've heard of it, but I will tell you, when I'm ready to go back, I'm going to go back to my church. It's my home church. Went there for growing up all my life since I was 6 years old. And then I went to another church for then. But from 6 on, as soon as this church opened, I was there every time the church doors opened, except for the last 2 years. So when I'm ready to go back, I'm going to go back to mine. And I went there about 3 times. It's pretty good. But then the third time, something happened.